Welcome back, Sagittarius. Thank you for clicking and watching my reading today. Let's jump straight into your energy. For your present position, we've got the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is also connected to Aquarius energy. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. The Five of Swords is air energy, and it's the energy that's showing up because something may have created conflict in your present position. There could be tension or a situation where winning has become an emotional or personal cost. In this Scampini Tara, the Five of Swords carries the atmosphere of disagreements, opposition and separation, where competing interests can turn communication into confrontation. The card immediately connects the Five of Swords with arguments, divided loyalties, wounded pride and the consequences that remain after harsh words or difficult actions have been taken. This is not simply just conflict. It's the uncomfortable recognition that victory can come because meaningless, or your victory can become meaningless when the price of achieving has also damaged trust or even disrespected your peace. If you look closely at the Five of Swords, each blade represents thought, language, judgment, and the power of the mind to defend. This is a challenge or a divide. Because swords belong to air energy, the conflict may begin through instability, disruptions, and it can also be a testing point where opposing positions become difficult to reconcile. The deeper symbol therefore concerns what happens when intelligence becomes weaponized. Being technically correct may still also create emotional distance, resentment or consequences that continue long after the original disagreement has ended. There's a hidden message in this card that I don't want you to miss. The Five of Swords does not always ask who has won. Sometimes it asks whether the battle was worth fighting at all. A person may defend a position so strongly that compromise becomes impossible, while another may also withdraw, simply because continuing the struggle costs too much energy. The card therefore asks you to distinguish genuine self-protection from pride, stubbornness, or the need to have the final word. Something may have been said or done that cannot simply be forgotten, but awareness creates the opportunity to choose differently because another disagreement repeats the patterns. Aquarius brings independence, intellectual conviction, detachment, and the willingness to stand apart from collective opinions, while Venus also rules the Five of Swords and also introduces relationships in this energy, values. Also, it connects to attraction, harmony, and the question of what is genuinely worth preserving and picking up. Together they make the Five of Swords a card of complicated interpersonal choices. You may understand your reasoning perfectly with another person's experience that is different to yours. I also feel this energy, the message is clear. Choose your battles carefully because every victory carries consequences and not every disagreement deserves your energy. The swords represents your thoughts that can clarify or wound your energy. Aquarius also represents independence and conviction, while Venus asks whether your choices can be exposed to pride, resentment, and communication that has become increasingly defensive. Stand firmly where your principles genuinely matter, but recognize when continuing the fight only creates greater separation. Walk away from hollow victories, repair what remains repairable, and allow wisdom rather than ego to determine what happens next. I'm also picking up the date between the 20th to the 29th of January, might be significant. Also a 5-week cycle, and also a Friday. Or you could also be connecting to an Aquarius with this energy. So let's see what your obstacle or your challenge is for this week's reading. So the obstacle or challenge is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is water energy. He is carrying this cup of an erotic scene of two lovers kissing in this cup. The Page of Cups, like I said, is water energy and he connects to emotions. This energy of the Page of Cups, there's something about this page that I feel you could miss. When I look at this card, I don't just see someone young, sweet and emotional. I see a person at first who appears composed, careful and observant. Perhaps even a bit restrained in their energy. But then I notice the cup and I begin to wonder, what is this person feeling? And he isn't showing us in this card. This is a young soul who thinks in rhythms, images and symbols. He's sensitive, very imaginative and deeply private as a person. And he also feels far more than he reveals. His thoughts naturally drift towards art, philosophy, spirituality and human connections. He watches, he absorbs, he notices what other people miss. And then I notice the pen and I feel this energy could be a student, an observer, somebody who's thoughtful with a reflective mind, trying to understand himself and the world around him. But the cup reveals what lies beneath all of this thinking, his imagination, his intuition, even romance, emotional longing as well, I feel, that he's experiencing. And it connects to his desires that may not yet have found the ability to express them. And then this makes me wonder, why is someone this sensitive and so contained? Perhaps there were traditional experiences through his life, a structured education possibly, or a strict supervision, or a strict upbringing, or even spiritual influences that are around him, I feel. He may have learned early how to adapt, how to behave, and when to speak. And also he remains quiet. And most importantly, is how to keep the peace. He carries this energy. And suddenly his quietness means something different. Perhaps this isn't simply shyness. Perhaps he's also learned how to contain himself. And this is where his shadow appears. He could be emotionally suppressive or over-compliant with others. And because when someone spends too much becoming what everybody else expects, eventually they may stop asking questions. And he may be asking, what do I want? And how can I express myself with his emotions? He holds this imagination, his intuition. This could be somebody who's thinking about you romantically. He's also very sensitive and very creative as a person. And he also desires to be with you. But I feel that he hasn't expressed this to you yet. So when I look at this card, what does all of that emotions, or where does all of those emotions go? Do they go inward in this Page of Cups? He's a dreamer. He imagines. He idolizes. And he's creating this inner world where his feelings can exist safely. And now we understand why I call this page the bound messenger. This is something inside him trying to communicate, and he hasn't quite found its voice yet. His exterior says, I am composed. But the cup says, there is so much more inside of me that I want to express. A cup can contain emotions only for so long, and it cannot stay full forever. So when I look at this Page of Cups, I don't just see weakness, I see someone at the beginning of an emotional awakening, learning that sensitivity doesn't have to be hidden, and that feelings, or those feelings that he carries deeply, can also become a source of his creativity, his intuition and his strength. He's very sensitive, and I'm also picking up he's analysing, or he's imagining what he wants to say and what he wants to communicate with this energy. This person could be younger than you as well, that I'm connecting to. So let's see what's in the hidden subconscious mind. Is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is Aries energy. Aries energy is I am. Is I am taking control. And this is the Two of Wands. And this Two of Wands is one club that's been separated into two. The Two of Wands is a very powerful energy. As you can see on the club, hanging down on the bottom is the rose-coloured glasses, if you can see them. This is where it's important that you take those rose-coloured glasses off when you make decisions. The Two of Wands, I feel, I'm picking up a date between the 21st to the 30th of March might be significant. A Tuesday might be significant, or the next 2 days. You may be fighting hard for something you believe that you want in this card. But what if the real question is, what is it going to cost you? The Two of Wands brings unsatisfied desires, struggles, labour, endeavours, violent strife and also conflict. Scarpini's image in his tarot cards suggests, and it warns, that desires become obsession. You can lose sight of why you wanted something in the first place. What appears to be two clubs is actually one club broken in half, and it's scattered. It's a scattered energy, I feel, and its ends are also on fire. Something that once carried your energy forward may now be divided against itself. You could be torn between two desires, two directions, or what you want and what you know is right. Above the destruction in this card is an energy where this energy receives the knowledge that he desperately desires, but only by trading away something far more valuable. And I feel this is where the card becomes personal. Because what are you sacrificing to get what you want? Consistent labour and endeavours may be taking you towards a goal, but if nothing never ever feels enough, the struggle itself could be telling you something else. Then this energy comes through of clarity, where the clarity you need may already be available to you. But desires, fear, pride or frustration could also be preventing you from seeing the situation as it really is. Not every battle needs to be won, and the broken wands suggest the conflict and this violent strife can begin when your own energy becomes divided. Part of you keeps pushing forward, while another part already knows the price may be too high. Your unsatisfied desires may not be asking you to try harder. They may be asking you to question why nothing ever feels enough. Step away from the struggle long enough so you can see clearly. Ask yourself, with this ambitious energy, it could be a relationship, a decision, or it connects to your desires. And what is quietly taken away from this energy? Do not sacrifice something precious simply because you have already invested so much. And the message in this card is clear. Put your glasses back on and look again. You may need to fight harder. You may need to see things differently. Struggles, labour, endeavours, conflict and unsatisfied desires are showing you where something has been divided within yourself. Know the true price before you continue. What you desire may still be possible, but never at the cost of losing yourself to obtain it with this energy. So let's see what the past influence is connecting to this reading. Show me the past influence, my lovely Sagittarius. And if you do resonate with this reading, please smash the like button. We've now got a major arcana. The major arcana reflects the deeper lessons that shape who we become in this energy. And this is number 13, and it connects to Scorpio. It's the Death card. This energy is where you're rising and transforming into a new person. I feel that you're not the same person as you used to be. The Death card reminds you that every ending creates space for a new beginning. You're moving through a period that's powerful and brings in a transformation where an old chapter is closing so a new one can begin. While change may be feeling uncomfortable for you, it's leading you towards growth, renewal, and a stronger version of yourself. This card rarely represents physical death. Instead, it's a signal that the end of a relationship, the end of a career, a belief, a habit, even a lifestyle, or even the way of thinking is being released that no longer supports your future. Although letting go can be difficult with the Death card, it's making space for better opportunities to come in, and also it brings in a new direction. Scorpio energy, like I said, connects to this card, and it encourages this deep transformation. You may be releasing unhealthy attachments, ending power struggles, changing your financial situation, or walking away from people and situations that no longer align with who you're becoming. Death card asks you to stop holding on to what's already run its course. Sometimes the hardest thing to release isn't another person, it's an old fear, a limited belief that you have on yourself, or even an outdated version of yourself that you're releasing. And the sooner you let go, the sooner your new chapter can begin. Like the phoenix rising from the ashes, every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. Trust the process, embrace the change, and know that what's leaving your life is creating space for something far better. The message of the Death card is clear. Don't fear the ending. Welcome the transformation. What you release today creates the life you're meant to step into tomorrow. So let's see what your possible outcome is. Show me the possible outcome. Thank you, Spirit. I see things have been stagnant. This is the Hangman, which is also again another major arcana that reflects the deeper lessons that shape who you're becoming. The Hangman is also, like I said, it's a major arcana, and it's also number 12. It also connects to Neptune as well. It connects to psychic awareness, mysticism. It also connects to alternative realities that you could be looking at as well with this energy. I feel the Hangman energy is an energy where you might be feeling stuck or on a standstill right now. But this pause has a purpose. The Hangman is showing you're moving through a powerful awakening, gaining a new perspective that will lead you towards greater clarity, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of the path of truth. This card asks you to stop forcing outcomes. Instead, pause, reflect, and surrender what you can no longer control. Sometimes the greatest progress comes from changing your perspective rather than changing your circumstances. Release the need to have all the answers. Trust yourself, follow your intuition, and allow the confusion to clear naturally. As your awareness grows in the Hangman energy, you'll begin to recognize that you have the power to shape your own story through the choices that you make today. What once felt confusing will start to make sense. There's also hidden opportunities around that carry deeper truths and valuable insights that will also be revealing themselves to you when you stop resisting the process and trust where life is leading you. The message of the Hangman is clear. Something you must pause before you can make forward movement. This could be a new perspective of today that creates a better future for tomorrow. So let's also see the near future for my lovely Sagittarius. And if you do resonate with this reading, please smash the like button. Follow my channel, subscribe to my channel, it's free. You'll be notified when I upload new content for your zodiac sign. Excuse me. Also drop me a comment in the description box below. Let me know how these energies are showing up for you. I see an ending with the Ten of Swords. This is Gemini energy in the near future. I do see that you will be ending this connection. This person could be younger than you as well. The person that you've had an argument with or a disagreement with. And I do feel that this is going to be ending. All tens talk about endings that bring in new beginnings. The energy of the Ten of Swords is also connected to the Sun. And I feel this energy is showing up because something in your life has reached a point where it can no longer be repaired in the way that you once hoped. This is a painful ending, a betrayal, or a difficult truth that may have left you feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or unable to see a way forward. But this card isn't appearing to punish you in your future. It is showing you that something has ended. This could be an ending of fear. It's the ending that's final and it will set you free. This card is asking you to accept what has already changed rather than continuing to fight for it. Something that has run its course is ending. You may be grieving a relationship, a situation, or even a version of yourself that's transforming, because I feel you're not going to be the same person as you used to be. This also connects to your future that's changing. And I feel this connects to something that you once believed would happen. Not every ending happens because you failed. Sometimes the people we trusted disappoint us. Circumstances change and chapters close without giving us the explanation or justice that we wanted. The hardest part isn't always accepting that something has ended. It's accepting that it cannot become what it once was. There's one hidden message in this card that I don't want you to miss. This energy, beneath the betrayal, the grief and the sense of helplessness, lies one final truth. This chapter is finished. Something cannot be repaired without creating more pain, and some situations become toxic when we keep trying to bring them back to life. Your grief deserves to be acknowledged, but it doesn't need to become your identity. This is showing there is nothing left for you to fight for in this card of the Ten of Swords. The ending has already happened, which means you can no longer have to spend time trying to fix this energy. This is about your strength. It's about focusing on your strength with the Sun, because the Sun rules this card. And sometimes this card can also symbolize hitting rock bottom. And that is the moment you finally realize that the worst is behind you. The card is asking you to stop trying to rescue what needs to be released. Allow yourself to grieve, learn from what has happened, and give yourself permission to walk away from what can no longer support your growth. You don't have to understand every betrayal before you can begin the healing process from this experience. Healing can begin even before everything makes sense to you. The message is clear in this card. Something has ended, but your story has not. Stop fighting what cannot be changed. Release what has already served its purpose, and trust that the closing of this chapter is creating space for something new. The worst may be over, and what feels like the end of your story may actually be the moment life finally gives you permission to begin again. As the sun rises in this card on a new dawn, a new day, and a new life. And I'm also picking up the date between the 11th to the 20th of June, might be significant for some of you, a 10-week cycle, and also a Sunday. So let's also get the Soul's Journey Oracle message. And if you do resonate, please smash the like button. Drop me a comment in the description box below. It really does help my channel out with your support. So what's coming out is health. It's about looking after your health as well. I will honour the physical vessel that enriches my soul with health. At the bottom of the deck, before we get career and life oracle message, you may be doubting yourself, or you may have had doubts that you could rescue this connection as well. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Like it says, you don't need all the answers before healing takes place with this energy. Whoops. Let's also get career and life oracle message, my lovely Sagittarius. Whoops. Sun, Moon, Rising Venus, male or female. Show me career and life oracle message, my lovely Sagittarius. We've got two cards. The first card that's come out, independence. You'll be getting your independence back when this ending happens. It's time to go out on your own and create your own business for some of you, or try something well outside your comfort zone with this independent cat. And cats, they always land on their feet. That's what I'm hearing in the background. And the other card says strategy. You need a step-by-step plan of attack to reach the next level. Get the advice of someone who is already where you want to go in this energy. You can see the game of chess, being strategic as you plan your steps one step at a time. So thank you for listening. I hope you resonated, and I hope I see you in my future readings. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, Sagittarius.